Hello and welcome to the Boost Over Ball podcast, your go-to source for all things Rocket League, with your hosts, K-Cube, Quilly, and Red. So lean forward, lock in, and get ready to go Boost Over Ball.
You're forgetting that on screen.
Yeah. No, this is a different setup that we got going here. We are just recording audio as we did in the beginning of the podcast. We're pre-recording this one, but I'll talk about that more once we get through the intro. But you ready to get started?
Are we live yet?
I mean, I'm just recording, but yeah.
Wait for it. Oh, wait, where is it? Hello? Do I sound any different?
Cleaner.
Do I sound the same?
I think it's not.
I switched mics.
Oh. Okay.
I forgot to do it. I'm now here to switch mics. Hello, I am here in 4K quality in your ears.
Oh man, it's what I've always dreamed of. But here we are. So, hello and welcome back to the Boost Over Ball podcast. To listeners new and old, hello and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Kyle, K-Cube, and I'm joined today by Quilly. How's it going?
Doing good. A lot of car ball going on today specifically, but yeah, so much to tackle already.
No kidding. And so we're coming audio only. So on today's episode, we'll be talking about Open 3. We know all but our NA, all of the teams but NA that are headed to the Boston Major. We'll be giving our thoughts and analysis on the regions that have finished up before talking about our top 32 NA teams at the time of recording. And speaking of the time of recording, we're recording this on Sunday night, February 1st, before the NA double Swiss has started, but after everything else has finished up for the rest of the regions. But this week is pre-recorded, like I mentioned. It's going to come out on our normal time on Thursday. Next week, so that looking at that second week in February, we will be recording on the 10th, 2/10, and the episode will come out, in video form on YouTube and Twitch, and then an audio form on the 12th. And then 2/17, we will be live recording, back normal, like before we go to Boston. That will be our major preview and our power rankings ahead of the Boston Major, and that episode will come out before we head to Boston, which will be starting 2 days later on Thursday. We're 2.5 weeks away. It kind of doesn't feel real.
Yeah, no, it's like I think of it like it was like just like 3 months ago that it felt like it was an eternity away, and now we're getting closer to it. It's like the more Rocket League going on, like all these opens, like these are all narrowing down to who's going to this event, and that is honestly insane to think about. So, and I can't even imagine the nerves that these teams are facing. Like, we'll talk about the Man City GK tiebreaker. We'll talk about what's going on currently, the Team Secret versus Fury matchup. Like, all of these teams are literally fighting for their ability to go to this major that we are going to very soon.
They're fighting for the opportunity to get interviewed by us.
Exactly, the great honor, not to compete for lots and lots of money, but to speak to the Boost Over Ball boys.
I mean, what more could you really want? Like, I don't... yeah. But either way, we got a lot to talk about, and we will, I've kind of organized this in a way that we can talk about it as things happen, because, like you mentioned, the Secret Furia match in the semifinal is happening right now. Secret's up. Secret just won Game 3. It's now 2. The series is 2-1. We'll keep everyone updated on that. So... But first, let's talk about OCE. Let's move into, let's start with OCE, and then we'll go from there. Our teams that made the top 8 are Power, Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, Miami Metro, and Wildcard in the upper bracket, and top 48, You Not a Champ, You a Clown, and Dogged and Dangerous in the lower bracket. Like we mentioned before, this was between Power and Wildcard. Both teams were tied on points heading into the final event for the only spot in Boston. And in the semifinals, Power takes down Miami Metro 4-0, and Wildcard faces off against the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, and Wildcard gets swept. Power then lose to the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs in Game 7 in the Grand Finals, and Power clinches their spot and will be headed to Boston in 2 weeks' time. So obviously, the elephant in the room, Power getting swept by Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. What do you think?
I didn't have a chance to watch the series just yet, but I mean, on paper, that is insane and also heartbreaking for probably that grand finals matchup that would have been generational. Obviously, it took away a lot from it when it was literally, as we've been talking about, teams playing literally for the opportunity to go to Boston because that is literally a one spot or one team region now. So it was for all the marbles and wild cards, and when the lights were the brightest, lost to a team they probably shouldn't have, but as they went on to do, maybe they're not too shabby. And we'll see what Canterbury, what is it, Canterbury Bulldogs?
Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs,
I
or
can
or the CB Bulldogs.
That's all I'm looking at is CB Bulldogs. I
Yeah,
remember them every week. It's just like that a disgustingly long name. But yeah, they've been a respectable team, but obviously not one of the top two in the region. And obviously getting a sweep over Wildcard, who has been the dominant powerhouse season after season, time after time, is huge for them. So we'll see if they can build off it going into the next split, and maybe, just maybe, they could be the team that we're seeing in France.
Yeah, and I mean, looking a little bit more in depth at that series, and Wildcard is outscored 14-4, losing games 1 and 2, 3-0, losing in overtime in Game 3, and then losing 5-2 in Game 4. So I mean, it just like they were never really in the series, right? Even when they made it to overtime, like to try and wrestle it back a little bit, they couldn't do it. The CB Bulldogs really outclassed Wildcard there, and they also pull off the rare best of 7 reverse sweep in the grand finals after Power goes up 3-0. And so congratulations to Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, but a bigger congratulations to Power for making the Boston Major. And I would have to guess that our, one of our only returning rosters other than NRG, Torsos, Banana Head, and Fever will probably look to make some changes. After that, now that the split is over, not having the success that they were hoping for. So maybe you might see like a Caleb or a Kaka or a Hunter from Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs making the switch over to Wildcard. But we will have to wait and see on that one. So anything else that you wanted to mention about OCE before we jump over to MENA?
No, I mean, it's just going to stink not seeing wildcards. Obviously, Banana Head at a major is one of the best things. But yeah, good luck to the Power guys. Obviously, they're a respectable team with Fiber, Gus, and Super Lucky. So assuming they'll at least keep it interesting. I don't know if they got top 6 in them like Wildcard did at Worlds, but we never know.
We will have to wait and see, but that's why they play the games. It'll certainly be great to see Fiber again, making his first NA LAN appearance since the Great Fall. That happened.
Hopefully he stays on his feet.
What?
Hopefully he stays on his feet this time.
Yeah, I'm sure he's hoping the same thing, but handled it like a champ. Can't wait to see them in Boston. But congratulations to the CB Bulldogs for getting a regional win there and kind of proving all of us wrong here, thinking that it was only 2 teams that had a chance in OCE. Moving over to MENA, and before the event happened, it was Falcons and Twisted Minds had already locked up their spots. They were already your 2 teams headed to Boston, but the only thing that could change was seeding, and that was sorted very early into Championship Sunday, as the teams making it into our top 8 through the upper bracket are Twisted Minds, R8 Esports, Team Falcons, and DOS. And through our lower brackets, we have Sleeping, Nightmare, MMT, and Everything. Twisted Minds falling to the lower bracket, taking down Sleeping, and ending up on Falcons' side of the bracket, in which the Falcons took them down 4-2 in the semifinal to come up against a R8 Esports team in which Falcons again won in 6 to take home their 2nd straight regional win. Team Falcons finish 3rd, 4th. They have their Boston Major spot, but they are firmly in 2nd place in their region. So I'm sure that they will look to rebound as we head into our major here.
So you got anything on your prediction from last week? Do you have any regrets?
No regrets, but I mean, tough showing for them. That loss to R8 really kind of screwed them up because they had to pull into Falcons side of the bracket. It was a close series, except for game 5, but other than that, like, they showed well. Falcons seem to have unlocked Drawley, and they seem to be kind of hitting their final form right at the right time in terms of major competition. But we'll have to wait and see how they play a team that isn't Twisted Minds in Boston.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch the games again yet because I'm just keeping track of EU and NA. It kind of absorbs most of the time because they're the obvious major regions. But yeah, I'm just gonna assume I can confidently say my prediction was right if they got Nobu's head and took him down.
It is very possible, but like we kind of assumed from the very beginning of the split, Falcons and Twisted will be your two teams from MENA heading to Boston. We always thought that would be the case. We just didn't know how close it would be, and the answer is a lot closer than people thought. So, speaking of something that we knew from the beginning, and that is going to be Project De La Cruz cruising through to another APAC championship. We'll go through their run here. So our teams making the top 8 through the upper bracket are Project De La Cruz, Godspeed, Kinotrope, and Bear Claw Gaming. Through the lower bracket, we have Ground Zero, Overlooked, Sailing Esports, and J Chicken Esports. In our semifinals, we have Kinotrope taking down Ground Zero in 5, and we have Project De La Cruz taking down Sailing Esports in 5. You then have Project De La Cruz completing their split sweep, winning all 3 regionals, beating Kinotrope in Game 7. Congratulations to Project De La Cruz. I know, Quilly, you sent a clip of a psycho pre-jump goal from Project De La Cruz, and it was disgusting. But another win for them, a major appearance for the team. Congratulations to them. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that clip specifically, the Sphinx Psycho to a Catalysm pre-jump double, was genuinely mind-boggling. If they're bringing that to the LAN, no LAN team, K-Corp probably even included, is going to be able to stop that play specifically. So, I mean, if they could just farm that play over and over again because it looks so easy for them, I think they'll be doing good. But no, this has just been Project De La Cruz's it's been their split to lose.
Yep.
It's been their region to lose the whole time. Because, like you said, they've swept the region or swept the splits, and with good reason, because they are just a dominant team. Sphinx is a powerhouse and like just unguardable to everyone. And Catalysm and Kevin just complement him very well. So yeah, the team's firing, and I'm expecting I think it's going to be another one of those teams. How what is it, Virtus Pro last season? Everyone said, "Oh, they're a sleeper team. They're a sleeper team. They might." Obviously, they didn't do that well on the LAN, so the sleeper team wasn't that good. But this team might actually be the one to be the sleeper team that could take down some top dogs.
That would certainly be awesome to see, and I think it's even better that we're going to get to see another APAC, like actual APAC player playing at a major, and that being Kevin. We've seen Sphinx before, but we have not seen Kevin, so this is his first RLCS LAN, and that is super exciting for them. So congratulations again to Project De La Cruz, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Talk about another region that's super close, and that is SSA. Sub-Saharan Africa, our top 8 teams through the upper bracket are Pioneers and Unity, Bro Crows, and 5 Fears. And through our lower bracket, Amapiano, Deathcloud Esports, Strive Esports, and Team HSK. We can kind of cruise through the rest of the bracket. 5 Fears take down Amapiano to make it to the grand finals, and Pioneers take down Bro Crows in 4 to set up a grand finals match that we all were hoping for. We were hoping it would go the distance, and it did. 5 Fears and Pioneers playing in the grand finals for the Boston Major spot and for the regional championship, and 5 Fears are able to make the comeback after going down, winning game 1, losing 3 straight. They're able to pull it back from being down 3-1 to win it in 7. What a showing from 5 Fears, and we will get to see Tech Oz, Snowy, and Guns in Boston.
I would have loved to see To Die For there, but I mean, obviously, both of these teams are equal. More than anything, obviously, 5 years came out on top twice in these splits, but I think, regardless, I think these teams are just neck and neck. And if these teams stick with their coaches and players, I think it's just going to be, it's going to be an arms race the whole way through. Of just, they're going to be just trading series after or split after split, series after series. These teams are just very interesting. Obviously, a little bit of a skill gap by comparison, as we saw how Foot performed last season, and they weren't even the SSA team. They were dominating this region. So maybe that and a little bit of experience against that team gave them something to work with, or maybe as well as having the Spanish players that both teams have. But yeah, no, these teams are more than interesting, and they're more than fun to watch. So it's really, there's no losers in this for us in terms of watching, because no matter who wins, they're just a fun team to watch, and more than happy to see them get this opportunity.
For sure. It'll be exciting to see some South African players at an RLCS LAN event. It hasn't happened in over a year in terms of like RLCS seasons because of the Foot run last year, right? And so it'll be interesting. It'll be awesome to see Snowy and Guns there. Tech Oz will be joining them from Five Fears. So congratulations to Five Fears on your second regional win and your Boston major qualification. So, like, now we've talked about APAC, we've talked about SSA, and I don't want to take too much content from ourselves because we're going to do a major preview, because we're going to do a power ranking for our teams that are going. But realistically, do you see either of like a Project De La Cruz or a Five Fears making many waves in Boston, or do you kind of think that they're, hopeful for the experience, maybe they can come back and regroup for a later major or for Worlds?
Project De La Cruz, definitely. Pretty sure Sphinx himself they have some they at least have a series win. I know they beat Foot, right? Didn't
Yes, yes, they have multiple LAN series wins last season, but Kevin has not been to an RLCS LAN before.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe having Sphinx as your teammate may help. Really depends on matchups more than anything, obviously, for both of these teams. But I think it's definitely by far Project De La Cruz has a much better chance than 5 Fears getting a series win. I don't want to be like negative Nancy, but 5 Fears' goal should be getting a game win, because assuming they are the lowest seed going into this, they are going to be getting a run of doom.
Yeah, it might be a little bit difficult for them, as I believe that the 5 Fears team will most likely play Karmine Corps or Falcons, who are your potential 1 seeds, I believe. So I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do for seeding on that yet, but we will.
Honestly, if they play NRG, they might get a chance of getting a win, because we know NRG just sucks in the beginning of every Swiss bracket of all time.
Yeah, they have started slow, although they did not in our last in open number 2. So maybe they've shaken that, given themselves a little bit of an extra off season, missing the kickoff LAN and the main event for open number 1. So we'll have to wait and see. But let's talk about EU. Like we've mentioned, most of our time this weekend was spent watching these EU games because of how close they were, because of how many teams were in the mix. But our teams making the top 8 through the upper bracket were Gentlemates, Magnifico, Karmine Corps, and Ninjas in Pajamas. And through the lower bracket, we have GK, Team Vitality, Manchester City, and Team BSK. So heading into our playoff bracket on Saturday, GK, Vitality, and Man City were all kind of vying for the same spots. Vitality are able to take down GK in Game 7 and locked in their spot. Because of this, Magnifico and Manchester City could both force a 3-way tie if they made the semifinals, and Manchester City does that by taking down Team BSK and taking down Ninjas in Pajamas to move into our semifinals. our semifinals containing Karmine Corps from the upper bracket, Team Vitality making the lower bracket run after defeating Magnifico. But in the absolute epitome of same shit, different day, Karmine Corps beats Vitality for the 10th straight time and advance to our grand finals. And Gentlemates takes down Manchester City in Game 7. That Game 7 loss for Manchester City confirmed a tiebreaker match between Man City and GK, which would happen after the grand finals, which we'll talk about here in a second. But in our grand finals, we have Karmine Corps and Gentlemates. And Gentlemates are able to take down Karmine Corps in 5. They win 4-1. So first and foremost, what are your thoughts on this EU playoff bracket?
I mean, it's chaos. I think that's the only way to describe it, because all of these teams are just, I feel like, very even with each other, with obviously the one outlier. But yeah, all these teams are, especially with like how close the points were, it's just been an insane race between all of them. Some of them you would have liked to see better showings from. Some of them, specifically Vitality, can you guys get it together? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, boys? Yeah, no. EU is obviously the cream of the crop to watch. Like throughout, like EU or NA, obviously the best region, or one of the favorite regions to watch. But I feel like that's better towards the end. EU, I feel like from start to finish is like a much better watch.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly seems to be. I don't know if like closer is the right word, right? I mean, in the past, Karmine Corps has kind of been like a league above. They were not today, but it seems to me that like 2 through 7 are much closer in terms of like quality than in NA. But I mean, it was a great, like the Vitality GK series was awesome to watch. You got a Game 7 4.5-minute overtime for Vitality to take that one. You have Man City coming back from being down 3-1 to make it a Game 7. They didn't end up showing up in Game 7, but they did it. Gentlemates Magnifico in the upper bracket went to Game 7 overtime, and then Mates kind of just looked way better than Karmine in the grand finals. So congratulations to Gentlemates on their regional win. And Karmine does not complete the regional sweep as they have liked to. They would have liked, I'm sure, for pride and for money purposes. But like, and we'll talk about more. Like, let's talk about the tiebreaker, and then we can talk about EU as a whole. So for that final major spot, after Karmine, Gentlemates, Vitality, and NIP had confirmed their spots, due to Karmine Corps winning the kickoff LAN, a 5th EU team would be gotten and would get a spot to go to Boston. I don't know why I said would be gotten, but that came down to the tiebreaker best of 7 match between GK and Man City. Both of which were sitting on 15 points. The winner of this tiebreaker match would get 3 RLCS points, and GK are able to take down Man City 4-2. What are your thoughts about that tiebreaker match?
I mean, obviously on paper, we love tiebreaker matches. They're awesome. They're the most interesting thing because it's literally win or go home. The matchup itself was not that interesting. It was a pretty easy win for GK over Man City. I think it was 4-1. If my memory serves me correctly.
4-2.
4-2. I remember I was 3-1 last I looked, and then we got here. But yeah, it just seemed like it was domination, and yeah, GK earns this, and they come out on top. They earned that spot, and obviously GK at the major is the best thing possible because Appjack, Seiko, and Joyo out of LAN is awesome. Although I don't expect it, but if they do sell a jersey, like a Man City esports jersey, would be sick.
They sold it the last time we were in Boston.
The Man City one?
I believe so.
I don't even remember what jerseys there were there. I don't even think I looked at the. There was actually so many jerseys the first time we were in Boston.
Yeah, because they had like BDS, there was Man City, there was
Even Complexity had one.
yeah, they did.
Every team had a jersey.
I don't know if that's going to happen again, but we will see, hopefully. But I think this needs to be maybe a little bit bigger of a conversation. But what do you make of GK? Right, like they come through and they win Major 2, or they win Open Major 2. They win Open 2. In Open 1,
Foreshadowing? Do they win Major 2?
But they don't make top 8 in Open 1. They make a grand finals in Open number 2. They don't win, but they make it to a grand finals, and they looked good in the process of doing that. But they, for all intents and purposes, they have like their, how do I want to say this? Their destiny in their own hands, right? You gotta win one series, and no one's gonna catch you, and they can't do it. They lose to Vitality when it matters most, and they obviously looked good in the tiebreaker match because they won that in 6. But do you think that they are struggling with consistency, or do you think like maybe just the top level talent isn't always there? I don't like. What do you think?
I don't know. It's just such a confusing team because, like, on paper, like, they're awesome. Like, literally the 3 I named: Appjack, Seiko, Joyo. But like, I think like, I don't know. On their name wise, like, you gotta fear them. But like, I don't know how well their play styles match because they're just 3 high IQ players that are just always be in the right spot at the right time. But on top of that, you still have to be able to have the mechanics to outplay the other team. Obviously, we know Joyo is one of the most mechanical players still to this day. He's just one of the most lovable players as a personality. So, as much as that's awesome, a personality doesn't win you games. Appjack as well, obviously, and Seiko, just both being 2 of the most notable characters in the game, or not even characters, because Appjack, for all intents and purposes, he's a little bit of a bland person, dude. He's kind of like a robot, just like built to just be IQ. That's the way I see him, just like a robot. He's just a machine. He's had a very monotone voice at all times, but I mean, you still gotta outscore the team. So I think that might just be where the struggle is. But no, I always root for GK just because Seiko was like one of my original favorite players. So it's just a star-studded team that they just gotta like figure it out. I think them and Maze have the same problem where it's like they can either be the best team or the worst team. There's no in between.
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of contend the same thing. Like we saw Dignitas with Appjack last year, make a top 2 at a major. They were performing very well, and the team broke up, right? And we've seen Appjack do impressive things. We've seen him win a major, but we've also seen him crash out early or not make it. So it's peaks and valleys for a lot of players are closer together, but it certainly seems like this group of 3 has like. I mean, with Joyo and Seiko, they have really high pop-off potential, but they also like the floor is also very low if they're slumping. So I will be very intrigued to see how they can perform in Boston, and at least hopefully for their sake be a little bit stable. But we'll have to wait and see. So in the meantime, we left them for last because of the match that was going on, but that is SAM. And in SAM, the grand finals are going to be starting shortly. But in the meantime, we can talk about our teams that made the top 8. And through the upper bracket, those are MIBR, Team Secret, 3-Point Shooters, and Furia. And through the lower bracket, we have Emerald, Nova Drift, Enosis Esports, and Amethyst. Moving into our top 4, we have Furia and Team Secret, in which and MIBR and Amethyst. MIBR had already confirmed their spot, and they are able to take down Amethyst in Game 7 to head to the grand finals and solidify their number 1 seed coming out of SAM. And in a series that Team Secret needed to win to stay in contention, Furia are able to beat Team Secret 4 games to 1. So as we are, currently talking, Team Secret and Team Furia and MIBR are yet to play in the grand finals, but we do know that with Secret losing in the top 4, our two major teams from Sam will be MIBR and Furia. So, what are your thoughts on Team Secret coming up short? And what do you think about the Bull being back on top of Sam?
I mean, we obviously assumed beginning of the season that Fury would at least be the team in it. MIPR, after being the LCQ team and sticking together, right? They stuck together?
Yes, but no. They like switched a little bit. So like MIBR, they have Sad, Estromic, and Razebull. I think that they picked up Sad from that team. Or from
as long as they have the Bull.
Yep.
The Bull's the only one that matters. But yeah, no, MIBR being the number 1 seed was definitely not expected. But congratulations to them. It's a very earned spot for them. But yeah, I'm more than excited to see them at the LAN. It just sucks for Team Secret after like the Cinderella runs they had last season and being like a beyond respectable team that you like feared going into Worlds. Obviously KV1 and Mata not having the same luck. Swift getting the better end of it, getting to be the new Furia player. And unfortunately, Jafino having to be the odd man out on Furia that had to be sacrificed. But yeah, I mean, it's got to stink playing against your old team and losing to them to not make it to the major. Probably really wanted to win that. But yeah, I think the best 2 teams are the ones that made it.
Yeah, and other than competing in the LCQ for Worlds, in which Razebull finished 17th, 18th, the last time that we saw Razebull at a RLCS event was March of 2025 at the Birmingham Major, in which he finished 12th, 14th. And before that, you have to go back a year from that date when he finished 9th through 11th in Copenhagen with Complexity. But you can't really bring up that Complexity roster, at least in my opinion, without talking about the miss that was from AJG. I feel bad mentioning that, but Razebull was part of that team. He has a lot of LAN experience, and I will be very excited to see him competing in Boston. So, we still have to do that episode about like the Rocket League what ifs. Like, what if AJG didn't miss that open net? You know, what if First Killer actually won a LAN with FaZe Clan in San Diego, something like that. I think that'd be a cool episode.
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta come up with everything. Oh, I don't even know how far we're gonna go into it because so many things could be changed.
Oh yeah.
Or, you know, maybe First Killer could just win a LAN this season, and you know, he's all will be well in the world. We don't have to worry about what happened in the past.
But Peak Fourth Killer is back. They're so back, even in NA.
So bad, god dang it.
No, but I mean, I will be very intrigued to see what happens with NA. But speaking of NA, they are our last region, and as of recording right now, we are getting very close to these matches. I believe, the Shopify Gas, the round 1 matches start in 35 minutes. So this episode will be done and finished before the matches start. So let's run through our teams that we have in Group A and in Group B, all 16 of them in each, and then we can kind of give our thoughts. There was a mention of a Group of Death, Group of Doom, whatever you want to say. But our teams in the top 16 or in Group A are Shopify Rebellion, NRG, Foot Esports, Lotus 8 Esports, Dignitas, Shuffles Kittens, Unreal Nightmare, One, Gas, Little Step Bros, Kraken Seas, Foul Merchants, ET, Dead End, Nightfall, and Freedom. And in Group B, we have still unsigned, someone signed them, Redacted, Space Station Gaming, Genji Mobile 1, M80, Team Silenced, Seal, 90210, Cuz, Milky Way, Sonasan Gaming, Directionless Passion, When You Pat My Head, My Mouth Yawns, and My Shakes, Top Cheddar, Old Heads FC, Chimp, and The Return 2. So when the groups came out earlier today, you sent a message in the Discord and said Group of Doom. Care to elaborate on that?
I mean, any region that has NRG and first killer, or any bracket that has NRG and first killer, like that kind of sucks. Lotus 8 more than respectable. Dignitas, who's just shown up and been dominant out of nowhere. Shuffles Kittens, who's just upset Merchants, who just for some reason just
Went
beat
to the
anyone.
kickoff land.
Went to
No,
the kickoff
no,
lane.
no.
That was because no, Shuffles Kittens didn't go.
Hold on.
I think it was 2 Danes, 1 Bruv you might be thinking of. The EU team. That's like I feel like that's their version, but they are also now signed to an org, so it's
Yeah, no,
Did Shuffles Kittens go?
I am fairly confident that they made top 6.
Let's find out.
I'm looking. They did make. No, it was 100x35. Sorry, that was the.
They went
now
7-8.
Yeah.
They were 1 away.
Yes.
They were 1. They lost to Shopify.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like the group A is it has like the established people in NRG and Shopify. Redacted all the new and up and coming players and teams, with the exception of Genji, because obviously Redacted is self-explanatory. M80 has Mech. Space Station has Diaz and Reveal. I feel like they are all more than respectable young up and coming players in their own right. An Unreal Nightmare, Dignitas, Shuffles Kittens, Lotus 8's Foot, all being who's filling out the Group A bracket, is I feel like a beyond stacked teams to be going against, because I don't know, Group B you got like 90210, who's like they're all right. Yeah, cuz they don't even have a team page. Yeah, Seal, who's done some damage, but how scared of you of Percy and Eris? Not really. Team Silence is all right, but again, how much are they going to be doing? Probably not much. I'd much rather be in Group B, at the top end of Group B, than Group A.
Yeah,
that's the way I described it.
I mean, I would say that, for the most part, Shopify, NRG, Foot, probably Dig, are like pretty, and Lotus 8 probably are your top 5 in Group A. Whereas, at least for me, it's Redacted, Space Station, Genji, M80 are your top 4, and there isn't really a team that stands out as a 5th team as of right now. Right, things can change, results can happen, but it certainly seems like there's more spots up for grabs in Group B than in Group A. I think you're right about that.
Yeah, don't even get me started on the fact that Group A has little step res.
And gas. You never know, man. All gas, no brakes. You never know what could happen there. But, due to my travel, that's why we're pre-recording this. That's why it's not live. That's why, we don't know the results of which teams have made our top 16 yet for NA. So I apologize for that. This will be my last travel week that's going to interfere with the podcast. So, I'm hopeful that.
Predict them?
Sure.
We'll predict them, and everyone listening gets to see how right we are.
Yeah, in real time.
Was it 8? I'm assuming it's 8 and 8.
Yeah, it's 8 and 8. Yep. So let's do. Let me add it to the doc so that we can be really wrong.
And I feel like it's just going to be the top 8. Like it's my name. Do you think Gas or Lil Step Bros makes top 16? When they both have to face Shopify and NRG round 1.
And no particular order, right? So just name the teams that you think are going to make the top 8 from Group A, and then I'll do mine from Group A.
All right.
Group A.
You got Shop, NRG.
Yep.
Foot.
Yep.
I'm going to circle back to Lotus. Dignitas. Shuffles Kittens. I respect Arju. Unreal Nightmare. How many am I at?
6.
Give me Gas and a little.
Ooh.
That first matchup. I want to give him a little Step Bros and Gas, but I feel like those first matchups are just too brutal.
You have not put Lotus 8 in yet.
I skipped them. Give me Lotus 8 and Kraken. Leave out gas.
Okay. So similar to you, Shopify, Energy, Foot. I have those three. I have Shuffles, Kittens as well. I have Lotus 8.
Honestly, look, you want to make Footnut in it.
I thought about that, and I was like, I don't know. I'm an Unreal Nightmare believer. I'm more of a believer in Unreal Nightmare than I am in Dignitas. If I'm being honest.
You're doing your own group A. I'm now seeing.
Yeah.
You're more of a believer in. Didn't Dignitas went on like a crazy run?
They did, but I don't know how like repeatable.
Respect Aura.
Repeatable it is.
Aura to go. As long as if Bora and Evo are firing all cylinders and 5-Up's just doing his own, that team's capable of great things.
Yeah.
Maybe not like the greatest of things as in winning the whole split, but I mean great things as in doing more than they should. Or maybe losing out and Dignitas takes their money and picks up Redacted.
I'll take Dignitas, and I'm going to take for my last team. I'm going to say 1. Yeah, I'm going to say 1. Do you want me to go group? Do you want me to do my group B first?
Yeah.
Okay. Redacted. I think that's a no-brainer. I'm taking SSG. I'm taking Gen G. I'm taking M80. Team Silenced. And then this is where it gets a little bit harder, in my personal opinion. I think I'm gonna go Seal for one of my first teams. I think Percy and Eris have like some experience. I think that'll help them. I don't know how I feel about 90210. Devo, I still feel like needs to rebrand in the nicest way possible. I'm gonna go Milky Way. I like Creams and Season 5 Cosmic, S5 Cosmic, former Ones player there. I need one more. Oh man. Man, we're we're gonna go Old Heads FC. I believe in Wonder Mike. Wonder Mike. What about you?
This is the fun part. I'm Redacted SSG. Do I want to give Gen G M80?
Like I just like genuinely like even if Gen G have like a horrible showing, like who else is it gonna be? You know what I mean?
Seal. Give me Milky Way.
No, you don't have Silenced yet.
Yeah.
If you wanted them, I don't know if you're
scrolling around. How many teams do I have? 4?
5.
5?
6. You have Redacted, SSG, Gen G, M80, Seal, and Milky Way.
Give me Silenced and Directionless Passion.
Okay. So like this is tough because like if Gas or Little Step Bros were in this spot, I'd pick them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they were in Group B, like they'd be that spot. But because they're Group A, I don't think either of them are going. Unless you have a generational carry from Ga.
seen them do it before.
Yeah.
Like that time that they swept Foot. Or not Foot. Ultimates.
Yup. Forfeit win.
Oh! It's a sweep. Respect it. Respect the sweep. Respect the sweep.
Sorry, Cap. But I think that'll be interesting. So you can definitely tell us how wrong we are here at the end of the day today. After this episode will go live on Thursday like normal, but you will know, like I mentioned, you will know the top 16 before it happens, or before we do, before our next episode. So what a time to be alive. But is there anything else that you wanted to add about NA, about anything from Open 3 that we've seen so far before we wrap up for today?
Who do you think makes it farther between MIBR and Furia?
MIBR.
In obviously Boston. You think MIBR?
Yep.
I don't think he.
Go ahead.
I don't think Bull has enough help to win on the land stage by comparison, but I think Furia definitely has enough. I'm gonna give Furia the nod.
I think Furia are a better team than MIBR, but I just they had I can't pick them until they kind of get rid of the some of the loser stink that they've had recently, just underperforming and really just not looking good at all in Swiss on the international stage. So until they can prove me otherwise, I'm gonna roll with the Bull.
We love Bull.
Oh yeah. But that was a good question. Anything else that you wanted to add?
Nope, that's all. Okay.
Well, thank you all again for bearing with us on this early pre-recorded due to travel. We'll be back for the next 2 weeks like normal, and then we'll see you at the Boston Major if you're going. If not, you'll hear from us before and after, and probably during about everything RLCS. But with that, we'll wrap up for today. So thank you all so much for listening. We'd like to remind everyone that this podcast is proudly brought to you by our name-level supporters on Patreon, Alyssa B. Remember to rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts. Share the show. Tell a friend. It all helps us grow our audience and improve the show. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitch, which we're currently live streaming on right now. And come join our Discord. Make sure to support us by checking out our merch store and our Patreon, as this is how we fund the show and do giveaways in the future. All of these links and more can be found on our website at boostoverball.com. And from us here on the show, as always, remember to choose Boost over Ball. See ya.
Doing an imaginary salute.
Thank you for listening to the Boost Over Ball podcast. Make sure to check out our website, boostoverball.com.